Hi everyone, I'm Beta Delisi, and in this video we're going to talk about what you need to know about the Landlord and Tenant Board. The LTB, or the Landlord and Tenant Board, has a mandate. That mandate is to protect against unlawful evictions and unlawful rent increases. The board is similar to that of a court-like setting. Disputes are now being heard online or via telephone, and they can be worked out in mediation, or if you don't come up to an agreement in mediation, you will have no choice but to go in front of an adjudicator. Disputes can be sought through the board from a landlord or a tenant. At the board on the day of the hearing, you do have the option of mediation, and I highly recommend mediation because in mediation, you have an influence on the outcome of the matter. You're not always going to get 100% of what you want, but you may get 70 to 75%, which is still great. In mediation, your matter will be heard by a board-certified mediator who's a third party and is supposed to have a non-biased opinion, or no opinion at all. They are there to ask questions in order for the parties to reach a meeting of the minds. Not all disputes can be worked out in mediation. If your matter cannot be worked out in mediation, you will have no choice but to continue to have your matter heard in front of the adjudicator. The adjudicator is a board-certified chairperson who will hear both sides. Usually they start with the person who put in the application first, and then they'll move on to the other party. Parties are allowed to submit evidence to the board 7 days prior to the hearing. They must submit it to the board and to the opposing party by way of submitting via email or through the Landlord and Tenant Board portal. Any evidence that you wish to rely on, you must submit to the portal or the board and the opposing party. If you don't provide it in advance, then you're not going to be able to rely on it. At your hearing, the board will hear one side, they'll hear the other side, and then they will send out an order with the reasons for their decision, usually within 30 to 60 days. Often when the board has some delays, this may take longer. If you have any questions regarding the Landlord and Tenant Board, call us first.